Launched in September, the One Roar Fund will serve as a vehicle to help all 31 of Columbia's varsity athletics programs and club sports to compete at the highest level. We remain committed to providing our student athletes with the best resources available to help them achieve their goals. Although competition has been postponed, the competitive fire within our student athletes still burns as they await the call to return to athletic events. One Roar will provide our 700-plus student athletes with the necessary resources to stay in prime shape, mentally sharp, and above all, healthy and safe, as we await the continuation of Ivy League play. Together, we roar as one.
Columbia fans, celebrate 150 years of Columbia football with an official shirt. With options in both men's and women's sizes, this authentic shirt is exclusive to the Columbia Athletics team store. Order today at GoColumbiaLions.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us this evening. This is our second episode of Conversations with the Coordinators with Coach Paul Ferraro, our defensive coordinator. Coach Ferraro has nearly 40 years of coaching experience at the highest levels of football. He's joined the Columbia football program back in March of 2015 as the assistant head coach and defensive coordinator. Prior to Columbia, he spent 2 seasons at Maine and served on NFL coaching staffs from 2015 to 2016. Paul, thank you very much for sitting down with our alumni and fans to give them some insight into your defense and ultimately keep them hungry for our next football season.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, Greg.
Let's get into the questions, what everybody's been waiting for. The first one, defensively, year in, year out, you guys have goals and expectations. What are some of your goals and expectations going into each season, and how have they changed since 2015 to today?
You know what, quite frankly, they haven't changed. When I first got here, I talked to our defense about there's got to be 3 things that we're really good at. And if we are good at that, we'll be in every game and give our offense a chance to put the ball in the end zone. And that's we talk TRT, which is takeaways, red zone, third down defense. And I believe that if you finish in the Ivy League in first or second in those 3 categories, right, you're in every game. You're giving yourself a chance. And we've done a really good job on third down. We've been inconsistent with taking the ball away and playing in the red zone. We've got to do a better job of that. So again, those are the 3 areas, though, that we believe that if we play good in those areas, right, we're going to put ourselves in a chance to win a lot of games. People talk about scoring defense, but again, that's related to the red zone. So when we get in the red zone, we talk to our guys about making kick a field goal. And if we're 50% accurate, if they get in the red zone 4 times and 2 of those times they have to kick field goals, we're going to finish first or second in the red zone. Takeaways, it's a matter of 2 a game. If you have 20 takeaways in the Ivy League, you're first in the Ivy League in takeaways. And then third down, which we have done a very good job there. We've been first or second every year since I've been here. But those are the 3 areas we're talking to our guys about all the time.
I love watching third down defense. It's my favorite part of the game because it's mano-a-mano.
It's going to get better.
I can't wait. And that probably speaks into a little bit on the next question of, what your defensive philosophies are. Similar, if not the same as your goals.
Well, we had a unit meeting the other night, and we were, actually it was a couple of weeks ago, and we were trying to get our freshmen engaged on what is truly important about playing great defense. And the first thing I talked about was relentless effort, right? It starts there. You've got to have relentless effort. And then I told the freshmen, when the opposing offensive coaches watch our film and the opposing head coaches watch our film, I want them to say, you know what? If you look at certain positions on the Columbia Lion defense, they might not be as good as the guys on our team, but the one thing that they do as a unit, all 11, they're the most physical guys in the Ivy League. Game after game after game. You better buckle it up, because they're going to come after you with effort, and then they're going to be physical and knock the crap out of you. So that again, it's great to talk about takeaways and red zone and third down, but it starts with relentless effort and then being more physical than our opponent.
That's awesome. So, you're talking about opponents. Everybody is interested. How you call plays. What do you do when you're scouting an opponent? What are you looking at to call those plays week in and week out?
Well, we start, again, it all starts with first and second down. I talked before, we've been good on third down, but to give yourself a chance on third down, you've got to do well on first and second down. So the first thing we look at when we come together as a defensive staff, I spend the morning doing it myself while the guys are working on the scouting report for the players. I spend 6 hours, and all I look at is, first of all, the personnel that they use the most on first and second down, and within the personnel, the formations they like the most. Because I try to look and see if there's any kind of automatic that we want to jump into based on what they're showing us on first and second down. And when I say that is, in some games we'll use one or two of these. Some games we won't use any, quite frankly. It depends on their tendencies. But we have a color system that puts us into an automatic front and coverage, where if I see them come out based on their personnel and their formation, and I know we want to be in a certain front coverage or blitz, then we will have that ready. And we use color calls: black, blue, red, white. Every week, we'll have those ready to go if they jump in something that gives us an edge, okay? And then part of that for me, from a play calling standpoint, is, I'm looking to pressure 30% of the time on first and second down. We do keep our front simple, and we play basically two coverages. But within that, we've got three blitzes that we mix up. Whether it's the corner coming from the boundary, we blitz our two inside backers, or we bring our outside backer from the field, our rover, and one of our inside backers. And I try to stay with that formula. Now, I mix it up because they're obviously scouting me like I'm scouting them. So, it's chess match. And I didn't do as good a job last year, quite frankly, getting us to that 30%, which I believe is where we need to be good on first and second down. We were at about 18%. So I was a little bit less aggressive. I need to get back to being more aggressive on first and second down, which then allows us to get to where we've been very good, third down. And I'm not talking about 3rd and 1 or 2 or even 3, because that's the offense's advantage. I'm talking about when I know they have to throw the ball. When we get them in a down and distance where I got a 90% chance they're going to throw it, then we've got a new package that we've just put in. We haven't been able to practice it yet because of the circumstances, but it's basically going to be, we're going with a lot of speed. Okay, the one thing is, I look back at us, as good as we played on third down last year, we're not fast enough. We're close to making a lot more plays. So this next year, when that is, 2021, the fall of 2021, the spring of 2021, whenever that is, you're going to see us with a package we call speed, which is going to be 3 linebackers and 3 defensive ends. We're also going to take a linebacker out and put another corner in the game. And I'm really excited about what we're going to do with this. And I think it'll take us to another level on third down.
Awesome. It makes me miss football just hearing about it. I can't wait till we get back out there again. So you mentioned you had a unit meeting last week. What are some things in this virtual environment environment that you've done with the defensive side of the ball to keep coaching them and stay in touch with the student athletes?
Yeah, well, again, we're all Zooming, right? All you alums are Zooming, Greg's Zooming, I'm Zooming. We Zoom as a staff a couple times a week. Our coaches have done a fabulous job of Zooming with our positions, individually 2 to 3 times a week. And then we have started unit meetings where we're having unit meetings once a week. And, in the beginning, just trying to get the freshmen up to speed. Again, one of the first things we told our freshmen is eat is the foundation of our entire team. Okay. And, we talked to them about, eat, effort. Okay. A, accountability, T, team, which to me, even though team is at the end, it all starts with team. Okay. Team is the most important thing. But within the team, we've got to be accountable to each other and effort. I already talked about relentless effort on defense, but again, as an entire team, the effort's got to be tremendous. Obviously, both sides of the ball, special teams, and my big thing about these Zoom meetings is making sure our guys are engaged and they're not just sitting there. Like, it's different when you're in a unit meeting and we're in the Campbell Center and I can look at these guys in the eyes. I know if they're engaged. So when we're in these unit meetings, I got 60 guys there. I can see some guys, I can't see everybody. So my thing is I'm asking questions all the time, right? I believe in that, right? I want them to know if I'm up here talking or your position coaches are talking or Coach Bagnoli's talking, you need to be taking, not only listening, all right, but taking notes on the things we're talking about, because I'm going to test you the next week. So in these unit meetings, I tell these guys, I'm going to give you all the answers to the questions. To all the answers to what I'm talking about within our scheme or within what we're going to watch. But next week, I'm going to ask, I'm not looking to trick anybody, but I'm going to ask you and make sure that they are engaged. And our guys have done a great job of that. They have. Our players have been tremendous. So, it's nothing special. It is what it is, right? We've got to do these Zoom meetings. And again, our players have been fantastic. We mix it up. Some of these unit meetings are our defense. Some, for example, 2 weeks ago, we put Matt Patricia on there. Now he's the head coach of the Lions, but, he was the defense coordinator with the Patriots for many years. And I've got great respect, obviously, for what they do up in New England. So he was brought into Notre Dame to do a clinic. So basically we shared with our guys to keep it fresh and fluid, that it's not only our defense, but we're out there learning too as coaches. We don't have all the answers. I'm always looking to learn. I'm looking to look and talk to other coaches, whether it's at the NFL level or the FBS level. So we had half of his speech was a bunch of drills that they do. And a lot of those we do and some we don't do. So some of those we're going to incorporate when we get back. And then the second half was last week, showed actual plays from the Patriots, showing how these drills end up showing up on the film. And I'm a big believer in that. Like, if you're drilling something and it's not showing up on game day, then you got to do a better job, starting with me, getting it drilled the correct way so it does show up on film. So we mix it up with our guys. It's been good and refreshing. And again, our guys have been tremendous.
Hey, I mentioned in Coach Fabish's conversation with the coordinator that it's nice seeing the kids on Zoom, because that's one thing I miss the most right now is just seeing our guys every day. So next up, you've been in New York City for 5 seasons. This is your 6th. I know you grew up a hop, skip, and a jump away in New Jersey. But what are some things about New York City or Columbia that have surprised you in your time here?
Yeah, again, Greg, you said it. I grew up Ridgewood, New Jersey. Literally 20 minutes from where I live in the Arbor here in Riverdale. So it's not like the city was anything different for me, because I spent some time in the city. It started with the campus. The first time I saw our campus, I was floored by it. So, that's one of the first things when I talk to our recruits. because sometimes you just don't know where they're coming from when they think New York City. And I mean, literally, I tell them, if I put a mask on you and a mask over their eyes, okay, and brought them to the middle of our campus and took it off and said, where do you think you are right now? Literally, I don't think any of them would say New York City. And I think that's a positive, not a negative. Our campus is just tremendous. And that was the first thing for me when I got hired and saw it that I was so impressed with. And then secondly, the Campbell Center. I mean, you got to be kidding me. I mean, again, I've been very lucky in my career. I've coached at 5 FCS schools, 5 FBS schools, and 3 NFL teams. And I can tell you right now, other than a little bit of bigger space in the NFL, there's not a place that's better prepared to get our players prepared than the Campbell Center. I mean, it's just a tremendous facility. And I'm not telling the alums anything they don't know, but if for some reason they haven't been here to see it, they need to. It's an incredible place, and it gives us a major advantage, in my opinion, in our league. It's without a question the best facility when you put it all together. Meeting space for the players, meeting space for the coaches, the weight room, the training room right next door, the locker room right next door. I can't tell you the places I've coached where you had to walk 5-10 minutes to get to these different spots. And we've got it all together, and it's brand new. So it's fabulous.
Awesome. Well, I know you grew up close and were in the city as you're growing up, but you have any favorite places to eat in New York City?
Oh, please. I mean, this is like the easiest questions you've asked me, right? Arthur Ave. It's actually not on Arthur Ave. It's right around the corner, but Roberto's. I mean, it's my favorite place. I think it might be Coach Bagnoli's also, but you'd have to ask him, but tremendous. I mean, obviously there's places to eat all over the city, but it's nice where we live, get down there in literally 15 minutes. But Roberto's, I put my stamp on it.
Little Italy in the Bronx.
Yeah, exactly.
I've shared a meal with you there.
Yeah.
I can vouch. It is fantastic. All right. This is the fun question. What is something that maybe most people don't know about you? Maybe something, not football related.
Yeah. Well, you know what? This one is interesting because when I first got hired here, my sister called and said, oh my God, this is like meant to be. Dad got his orthodontic degree at Columbia. And quite frankly, I had forgotten that. But let me go backwards. My dad went to dental school at Georgetown and had 5 kids. I was the 5th. There was a 6th coming later. But after he had 5 children, he had been a dentist in North Jersey, for 10 years. And he decided to go back to school. So while he's still out of practice, he took the bus into New York at night and went to orthodontic school at Columbia and got his orthodontic degree and then became an orthodontist in North Jersey. And what I think is ironic, too, is the Lou Little trophy. Lou Little, Georgetown head coach, Columbia head coach. So it's part of my heart. My dad got his dental degree from Georgetown and his orthodontic degree from Columbia. It's kind of neat.
That's awesome. All right. The question everybody's been waiting for, because we might get to see some highlights on the screen here. What are your favorite memories from Columbia football in the past 5 seasons?
Yeah, well, I mean, the first one, before I talk about individual games, because again, it's about the team, is certainly going 8-2 and being so close to that championship. We could smell it. Obviously, we all want that, and that's where we want to go. That season was tremendous. But going back to individual games, it would be our first year against Yale in 15. It was a great win on the road when nobody gave us a chance. And then, 2 homecoming games, the Dartmouth game in 16, certainly the Penn overtime win in 17. And then last year, the overtime win against Harvard, who was the one team we hadn't beaten in the league, those are my 4 favorite moments. I mean, there's other ones, but as a season, certainly 8-2, but then those individual wins that we had.
awesome.
And I'll say this, Greg.
Yeah.
I had never in my career coached an overtime game till the Penn game. It's crazy. Crazy. 35 years going into the Penn game, or 36, whatever it is. I had never coached in an overtime game. It's crazy. And then all of a sudden we've had two, right, in the last 3 years, and we won them both. So it's good memories.
That is unique. 35 years of coaching, not one overtime game until now. Well, those are all the questions I have. Coach Ferraro, I appreciate you sitting down. Our fans and our alumni are watching this. If you have any message for them, now's your time to sign off and say whatever you got to say.
Yeah, I mean, specifically to the alumni. I've been fortunate to have coached, I already said that, at a lot of outstanding institutions. But I say this, without hesitation. No alumni base has been more supportive to our staff or our team than the Columbia Lions football alumni, right? And if there's anything I can ever do for any of you out there, please don't hesitate to give me a call. I'd be happy to help you in any way I can. And again, thanks for all your support, alumni and fans. Thank you.
We are here with Gianmarco Rea. Gianmarco, do you want to introduce yourself for the alums?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Greg. Thanks for having me. I'm extremely excited to speak to my experience with Coach Ferraro and just Columbia football in general. My name's Gianmarco Rea. As Greg mentioned, I was class of 2017. I got to play for Coach Ferraro for 2 years, my junior and senior year. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and I played middle linebacker on the team. So I can't wait to speak to my experience.
Yeah, so we just got done hearing from Coach Ferraro on how he game plans, what his philosophies are, what his favorite places to eat in the city, and we just wanted to get a alumni's perspective, someone who's played with him or played for him for a couple of years, and I couldn't think of anybody better but you to speak on that. So let's get down to the details. Let us hear about what your experience was playing for Coach Ferraro.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Greg. Coach Ferraro was one of my favorite coaches I've played for in my entire career. I'm not just saying that because I was selected for this. I've said that time and time again. I couldn't have been more lucky to have had 2 years playing for him on the team. I wish I could have had all 4, but two was enough, and I'm very grateful for that experience. So he came in, coming from a background of deep experience in football, 30 plus years. I think coaching the NFL ranks, coached at all different levels of football, and so the players had an immediate level of respect for him. When he came in, and we knew his track record was extremely impressive. So, he came in and he kind of commanded the room instantly and instantly had everybody's eyes and ears, and we were all ready to get in line and play for him. But, aside from the experience, what made him so special as a coach was that, he came in and he was fully committed to the team instantly. He was fully committed to changing the culture on the team. And I think he was one of the main factors in ultimately changing that culture. And I think he really spent a lot of time committing to each individual player on the defense and their personal growth, both on and off the field. And I can definitely say that I had a very close relationship with Coach Ferraro while I was playing, and even after I was playing. I was on the phone with him a couple of weeks ago speaking to him about, everything going on with COVID and the new circumstances controlling the situation right now. And I'm in business school right now, and I had to look around and try to figure out who could write recommendation letters for me for coming to school. And the first person that came to my mind was actually Coach Ferraro. So he put together a recommendation letter for me, and I got to catch up with him recently last summer. And yeah, I mean, I can definitely say that the intensity and the passion that he brought every single day was unlike any other coach that I've had, and the deep and strong connection that I had to him while I was playing there motivated me day in and day out to perform to the best of my ability. And, his football IQ and his acumen was completely unrivaled. But like I said, just the fact that he was able to connect with so many players on such a deep level and command the respect of the room and have everybody's eyes and ears on a day-to-day basis was really what took us from being one of the lowest ranked defenses my sophomore year to being top 10 ranked defense. And it was just an incredible turnaround. It was just such a pleasure playing with him. And I really credit him with a lot of the success that I had while I was playing there too, because my junior year, I think I was first couple games of the season against, Fordham and against Georgetown, I think it was the 2015 season. I'd struggled a little bit, and I think, my confidence was a little bit low, and I don't think that I was playing to the potential and performance that was expected of me in those two games. And we went into the game against Princeton, and it was a very tight game. I think we ended up losing at the end of the day. It was 5-10 or something like that. But I think I led the team in tackles that game, and I had a pretty good game. I felt like I was, gained my confidence back, and Ferraro kind of solidified that when he gave me a call the next day. I'll never forget. It was a short call, and that's kind of how Ferraro operates. But he called me and he just simply said, "Gianmarco, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the way you performed yesterday, and you're our guy. You're going to be our middle linebacker going forward, and I have all the trust in the world in you." And that was really it. And I think going forward from that point, just having that vote of confidence from coach, and going forward into my senior year where I was able to perform at a pretty high level was, instrumental for me in terms of like my success through the end of my career there. And I'll always be grateful for coach for sticking with me, giving me his confidence and connecting with me both on and off the field. And I think a lot of the defensive players from my time there would share that same sentiment about him. So I just have all the respect in the world for coach, and I'm just grateful that I got to play for him for 2 years.
That was awesome. It was a lot of fun to watch you play in his defense. A real treat from the sideline. But a bonus question: you may not have as much perspective on this, but can you tell us what Coach Ferraro is like on game day?
Yeah. So Coach Ferraro is he's a man of a few words on game day, I would say. I think he's just got an extreme amount of intensity. He's kind of got this wild look in his eyes on game day. He's ready to, he's ready to go into battle with all of us. And I think that there's just an extreme level of focus. And I think most of my interactions with coach on game day were pretty short, but they were very meaningful and very impressionable, because he would just look at you and he would just nod with this, and you just knew that he was kind of communicating non-verbally to you that he had all the confidence in the world in you, and that he was ready to go, and that he had the utmost confidence in the game plan, that we were prepared, and everything. And I think Stovall kind of came in as the position coach and was more of a vocal leader on game day. He would get everybody riled up. He'd get us all fired up. But I think Ferraro would kind of be there to just give you that kind of nonverbal confidence and just that extreme amount of intensity and focus that we always expected and saw out of him. So I think, I think he worked really well as a complement to all the position coaches that were there, and we had a pretty cohesive unit. And I think a lot of that was a testament to Ferraro's leadership and his commitment to the defense.
Absolutely. Well, Gianmarco, thank you so much for your insights on Coach Ferraro. I know when he hears this, he's going to be really appreciative of your words, and thank you for being supportive and an active member of our alumni group.
The least I can do is completely my pleasure, and thanks for giving me a chance to speak about one of my favorite and most influential coaches I've had. Thanks, Lime.